Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode.
All right, so today's Sunday, no work. It's kind of weird. Had no work Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and that time it's Sunday. So now we're on like 5 days of vacation, which is really strange. And speaking of vacation, it's just a random like personal learnings thing. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, and not so much business related, but I'm learning that I don't like vacations and time off is not as appealing to me. Candidly, it's tough being a parent when there's 3 very high attention kids wanting attention. And in the back of my head, like I had to produce and perform and like get stuff done and like provide for the family. And so vacation to me is like, yeah, we've worked hard, we've received like a surplus of like funds or like life goodwill, and now instead of like reinvesting that back into our life and like continue to work 5 days a week, we're now like taking multiple days off. And we're like eating our own surplus, and it's harder emotionally like to enjoy surplus when you've had it compared to when like I've been fired, and then the next day like, well, now we don't have any money, and now like 3 days of no job and no income, that's painful. And 3 days of like doing it on vacation side, it's like, okay, well, can we really like ease up? Can we really like slow down? And I don't really enjoy slowing down because I'm always antsy that something's going to like jump up and like knock me off course. And then we're panicking and stressing to put food on the table. And so it's tough. Thanksgiving is nice, but having like 5 days off is a lot. And Courtney and I got talking last week, and like she wants a vacation. We've had like one vacation in our 12 years of marriage, 11 years of marriage, and that was a baby moon before we had our firstborn. No, it's like, well, yeah. If we both got fired, we'd make it like 2 months, and then like we'd have to start putting our life on credit cards. Like, how can we afford a vacation? Like even if it's a free vacation and we just camp in our backyard and we're not working our job, that's still like eating away at our nest egg that we will need to survive if we get fired or hit or something were to go down. And so it's probably like why business ownership that isn't this difficult. Well, it's tough. It's tough owning a gym because now like there's all these stresses and like, well, what if we don't get members? What if we don't get signups? If people go bail, now like we have all these bills and no revenue. Well, we're screwed. And like we're sick. We've got nasal congestion. Kids are like running the best health, and so like for the stay home, well, it's tough. And so when I see like friends that are like, oh, we're going on vacation. Like, well, yeah, you make $15 an hour. How can you afford a week in Florida? Like, there's no way you can do it unless a sugar parent is affording that for you. Or you got a nice inheritance that's paying for all this leisure that you haven't perceived yet. And so this is an area in my life that I'm not very good at. I don't know when it's time to relax. I don't know the right mixture of cooling the jets and like when is it okay to like take a break from just go and like when have I earned a vacation, or is a vacation something that you earn to begin with? And so I don't know, today's just a monologue about prepping up for the week ahead. I feel just restless. I don't know what other way to say it. While your kids are sniffling, I've got a congestion issue. We've had a couple of big sales for our paid in full memberships, which is great. But my natural tendency is not to take 5 days off. And here we are taking 5 days off. And now I haven't had alcohol in 11 months. And I feel like I'm coming back off like drinking over the weekend because like my mind is fuzzy. I'm in a weird mood. All I want to do is get back into talking with the seller for the studio number 2 and kickstart talks with the sellers of studios number 3 and 4. Because that'll get us closer to not having to he can squeeze how to find a vacation and afford a vacation because we can't afford a vacation, then we make way more than any average household. Like, we're the top 5 incomes in the United States right now. I haven't looked at the number, but like we're the top 5%. And like, of course we can't afford a vacation. The value of our vehicles are like a 20th of our annual income. The value of our home is almost the same as our annual income. Like, how can anyone making less than we do afford anything? Like, if you own a house and your house value is more than, I feel like if we owned a house that was the same price as our income, like we would be okay. We'd be like flatline. Like right now we're paycheck to paycheck. It feels like, I don't know if people like afford to lease a vehicle, and like my truck is a $500 a month truck, and my wife's car is a paid off rusty Subaru that's 15 years old. She's got a patch of duct tape coming out one of the rust areas, and I'm driving it now and I'm going to gas it up. But like, how do people afford to lease even like a Toyota Camry unless you're making $500,000 a year? Like, what? I don't know what people are doing to afford lavish vehicles like leasing, let alone like a 10-year-old vehicle. So I don't know. Maybe I'm all bent out of shape, but all I have to say, I don't feel like we can afford a vacation. I don't feel like we deserve a vacation. I don't feel like we've done enough to earn a vacation. And my wife was like, well, we need a vacation because we only have so many times a chance to make memories with our kids. I'm like, yeah, let's make memories with our kids while we're 8, broke. She's like, well, no, like, you can't just quit off living life until you're 50 or 60 or 70 where you feel like you can afford it, because now all you can afford is to go travel and see your kids that are not close to you. And so you can't just put off enjoying life until you're too old to enjoy it. Well, yeah, that's true too. So I don't know what the point of all this is I don't know what the point of this podcast episode is, other than the benchmarks we've made for ourselves. Ideally, live in a house that's the same as your income, make 20 times what the value of your vehicles are combined. And if your house or your vehicles are more expensive than that, find a way to pinch. You gotta either pinch harder or make more, or do what you gotta do to make more. And I'll leave that up to you as to how to squeeze that out morally. But morally make more than what you're currently making, because otherwise life is tight. That's probably limited thinking. That's not abundance mentality until I gotta fix my mindset that there is opportunity ahead. So that's where we're at. Picked up $40 worth of cold medicine for the kiddos. Hopefully the kiddos and the infants, will stay healthy, doing our best. All we gotta do is move the needle forward 1 inch at a time. So I'm gonna go back, hang out with the fam, and start mapping out checklists for due diligence with the sellers, because deal 1 and 2 had a broker handling us the whole way through. Studios number 3 and 4, there is no broker necessarily in the process. I'm documenting what studios number 1 and 2 went through. And I may see if you'll be willing to do like a fee-only advisory for like documents along the way. Though it's pretty cut and dry. All 4 studios are profitable, fully staffed, in Minnesota, Twin Cities. So there should be no like major curveballs unless something novel happens. So that's where we're at. Go home, make a little bit of progress in all 3 studios. Hopefully the kids will still be asleep. If not, then we'll be a happy, smiling, engaged parent. When they go down, I'll do a little week prep ahead, because I've rested and enjoyed the Sabbath for several days in a row. Let's rock and roll. Be smart and be good with your money. Let's rock and roll.
This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.